90. It's easy work. No Kevlar for him to have to worry about. And Fnatic, they get up to their 10th round.
When people talk about Crims being one of the best fundamentally sound players in Counter-Strike, that's a perfect example of it. Realizing they're getting split in towards CT spawn, he does the only thing, the safest option is actually getting aggressive there. He pushes out. He knows that in these situations, it's usually just a couple players, 2 players over towards Banana, 3 towards CT spawn, so he takes the best fight with that P90, catches him off guard, mows both down, and just eliminates any possibility of Luminosity winning that round.
I love that, you know, speaking of that tag team combo as well between the two of them, Wolfmeister was right with them. It was like both of them were like, this is the fight we're going to take. And well, again, this is just sheer disrespect from Fnatic. They know this is a buy round for Luminosity, but they're going to go ahead and charge down mid anyway and take that fight. Only problem is if you don't catch it out immediately, if you don't just do severe damage, you run the risk of getting shot in the back. And that happens to Olofmeister. Fer from second mid catches him out, and now Fnatic going for the big power play. It kind of comes back to bite them.
Really smart play from Luminosity. They were set up perfectly to watch for that. I mean, regardless, they lose 2 members anyways to the might of Fnatic, but players far back on that T-ramp just holding angles to spot for that kind of a push, so they're able to come out into 3-on-2. And look at Fer, he's so aggressive right now up mid. He's just the one gathering intel while the 2 members stay back towards T-spawn. See what Fer can find, and he's going to find a kill on the Crims, who's not ready for that. But JW pushing down, gets that first kill, not ready for the second one to come up that ramp. Cold's going to finish him off. 3rd round goes towards Luminosity, 8-10 now.
And so that was a key round. A lot of these are going to be it, but at the beginning of this round, at the beginning of this half, Luminosity, they need to be doing economic damage to Fnatic, and that's just the ticket. Now Fnatic's economy is in shambles, and they're going to be the ones going for an eco. Although, you know, you say eco, and then JW just buys a shotgun. You know, why not?
Yeah.
You know, probably gonna go take that up into apartments and have some fun up there by himself.
He takes great pride in his shotguns.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Surgical.
The sawn off on Cobble. I mean, he just uses all the shotguns. And look, I mean, he's just going to go barreling straight down apartments towards T-spawn. He's going to be looking towards second mid. And in the meantime, his teammate Olofmeister looking towards Banana. Olaf just hanging around. He might get dunked on right here. Kaboom. Oh, that's perfect. 37 HP left on Olaf after that one.
Huge damage dealt. Even JW's fallen back out of the apartments.
It was so hard that he felt it from that side of the map.
He felt the grenade hit Olaf, and he was like, oh, man. Gotta fall away off that. But no pressure put on by Luminosity, just making their presence known. And look at Fnatic. They've brought 4 members over towards the A site. Flush is going to start cheating back, but the minute left, all of Luminosity is still spread out. They haven't been able to find anything. They're going to have to be careful when they go into this late round execution because the clock is winding down.
They still have so much utility, Luminosity. They still have so many ways to make their jobs easy. There is nobody currently on that B site right now for Fnatic. So Luminosity, they have all the smokes necessary to block off Spools and block off CT. Seems like one of those nades is going through right now, and they're going to worry about Spools. They're going to just hold on to the utility. So Flusha here does manage to actually do a little bit of damage, just putting him on notice. Bolts gets caught down to 17 HP. Probably some spray through the smoke there in that case, but still, Luminosity, everybody's surviving so far.
Yeah, despite 3 members over at the B site, Olaf does get 1 over towards construction, and Fer burns him out afterwards. But despite 3 members there, no one was actually in the bomb site. So it's a pretty easy plant for Luminosity. But now, Fnatic can just basically isolate these guys, try to keep them in the bomb site. You see Flusha and Pronex rotating back towards A. It's just Crims left over here, so they're going to let them have this. They're going to keep these pistols into the next round, knowing that it's really not that likely they'll get too many exit kills. JW not even going to mess around moving that way with a shotgun, but Pronex is going to push down mid. Maybe he can find an exit.
Nice try there by Crims. Whole point of that is just to do some damage on the man running away from the bomb, see if you can get lucky and drop him low enough to actually get a kill. It doesn't work out in the end, and Cold took out Pronex as well. So Luminosity, slowly but surely, they're closing that gap up to 9 rounds for them. And now Fnatic, they decide to go for it.
Yeah, this is where it stops. Fnatic, it seemed like they were considering one more save, try and get an AWP out, but JW's already got a shotgun, so he's like, all right, guys, let's just buy. Let's stop it here.
I don't need the shotgun. This is the same thing. Point and click. You know, get the job done. And he is so good at it. One of the best. But there's an early smoke down top mid, so they want to deny some info here, Luminosity, and they are getting set up very quickly. Actually, nobody going into Banana right now to do anything there for the South American team. They're getting all up to top mid. They could be setting up the flash, and there it is. Peekaboo, Flusha caught out in the open. He gets the HE off in time, and that's going to buy him quite a bit of it. Pronax is there with the double spray, and that drops the bomb at his feet. Flusha burns Bolts alive. And Pronax has got to be careful he doesn't follow suit, but the damage is done. 4-on-2 situation now for Fnatic, and they still have control of the situation as well.
Yeah, smart play by Pronax as well. Could have kept fighting up there, trying to rack up the frag count, but he falls back into the site, plays it a little bit more passively, gets 1 more with a nade. Nicely done from the captain of Fnatic, and Fer, he takes out Flusha. But in a 1-on-3, 1 minute remaining, he's got time, but not too many options, especially as Olaf just peeks Rapside, ends things quickly. What a defense from Pronax.
Yeah, that was all Pronax, actually. I mean, Flusha also, with the timing on his HE, he backed off just in the nick of time before getting caught out in the open. That was very well done.
That smoke seems like, because Luminosity used that on the pistol round too, which is very curious, because you only bought one smoke in that pistol round, and they use it at top mid. They know that Fnatic likes to peek down mid, gather information, take a couple shots. How many times have we seen people get punished from Fnatic from just that peek down mid? So Luminosity using one smoke early just to prevent themselves from losing a player from that and seeing what they can get in the mid round.
But it doesn't really pan out. Luckily for them, they still had the money from the success in earlier rounds, and Cold, he's starting to get fired up. He actually gets revenge on Pronax for what happened in the last one. Smoke's going up, however, and Luminosity, they're not willing to commit behind that first kill. They're still taking their time, setting it up, making Fnatic actually use quite a bit of their utility right now. Only a handful of flashes to work with yet.
Yeah, 2 smokes as well. There's over a minute left in the round. Oh, and Ferry spots him, and he swings out at the right time, but he can't get with the shot. Yes, JW does fall. And there's Cold. He comes up through the smoke. He takes out Flusha as well. 2 on 5 now. Olaf on the rotate gets 1.
Still 2 on 4. There's still so much work to do here. Olafmeister's going to get that smoke down. Just letting him know, but they are going to be making their way out into pit, and this is an impossible situation for Olafmeister. Fair will be able to get that bomb plant default, and now instant headshot there from Steel as he finally decides to take that peak battle. Olafmeister is gone, and it's going to be Krims holding on to a FAMAS as well. Not the best gun to be saving. Would much rather have an AWP or an AK or an M4 or basically anything else. But still.
Yeah, this is Luminosity taking it to Fnatic on this vaunted CT defense, the CT side that Fnatic has on Inferno. Luminosity's being so aggressive up mid. Outside of that round with Pronax, I mean, they can't really contain this aggression. That smoke that they've thrown up towards mid that I just talked about, one other thing that helps do is mask them pushing up mid. So they can choose when to explode right through that smoke whenever they want. It's their own. They know exactly how it lands. They know exactly what kind of smoke it is. So they know the pop flashes to come through it.
Yeah, that's a very good point to raise. And that element of surprise is certainly working. And that perhaps they realized, you know, maybe messing around with Krims and Olafmeister on the B side, that isn't the answer. Let's go ahead and take a look at the A side, and that's where they're finding some success here, Luminosity. And it's going to once again wreck Fnatic's economy. And this was the other point that we were making before the beginning of the second half, is that Luminosity need to limit Fnatic's options by winning consecutive rounds, forcing Fnatic into eco situations. And is that a chance off?
It looks like it.
Where did that AWP come from? It's like by magic. I look away and all of a sudden Olafmeister's got an op in his hands.
It's his entire bank. He's down to 150. So this glass cannon op, and you know what this does? This might catch him off guard. And it looks like he might have found a gap underneath that smoke. He's still peeking for it.
Oh, this is about to get tricky. Cold goes for the flash. Shoulder peek is there. Does this actually work? Does Olafmeister get something out of this?
This is such a gutsy call.
Yeah, this is incredible. Another rare thing. I mean, what, we've seen double op on T side. Now we're just seeing the random op bot on CT side. And Olaf, he's starting to force the issue. He's starting to see if he can't hunt. And this could be the timing here for Cold. Cold, once again, going to get that flash. Timing is not there, and Olaf decides not to pull the trigger, trying to hold on to the element of surprise. JW, however, peekaboo, spots Cold from apartments and takes him out. They still have no idea that there's an AWP in play, though, Luminosity, so this could be a big element of surprise here for Fnatic to try and take advantage of. But, I mean, Luminosity, they are going to just go rushing out onto the B site, though. 1-for-1 trade, and Krims gets overwhelmed. And, well, now Olafmeister, he is on the wrong side of the smoke, and that's a bit of the issue.
Oh, I don't think he cares. He jumps over it. What a shot into the head of Bolts. Spots him over the top. 3-on-2 now for Fnatic.
What a shot indeed. And now, well, man advantage, exactly. They don't have a kit, so they don't have a massive amount of time to work with. And JW just runs in, doing JW things, but then the rest of his team could decide to commit. Olafmeister now the last man alive. They just spot him, and he misses the no-scope, so he doesn't get anything further out of the round with that AWP. It's a triple kill instead for Fallen, and hey, he gets gifted a free op.
Yeah, that's huge. And that was a very ballsy call from Fnatic to pick that up. Doesn't work out, almost pays off for him.
Eco. I'm just trying to will.
You're trying to enforce your will upon Fnatic.
There we go.
That might be why he decided to buy it. They're saying we're going to have to save next round no matter what. So see if you can spend it. You'll have an M4 anyways going forward. But actually, that round is won. Luminosity makes a very smart call. Once JW gets that kill in an alternate, they lose all map control. All they have is banana. So they just say, okay, Fnatic knows we're nowhere near the 8 bomb site. We have to hit this quickly before the rotations come in, before the flanks have time to really be effective. Let's just get in and get this bomb planted. And they win that round out by attrition.
Well, there's a bit of a stat going on the A site right now for Fnatic. As we can see, Pronax waiting up in apartments. It's the crossfire scenario, and somehow just completely falls flat. Although, as I say, that Olafmeister with the USP no less will find 1 kill. That's all they will find here is Fnatic. I mean, there's still a man alive. Headshot there by Flusha, but the AK comes out, and Cold gets the kill. And now it's an 11, well, it's 11-11 the score, and the bomb is going to get planted. So Fnatic, I have a little bit of trouble, stretching the imagination here to see Crims winning this round, Moses.
Yeah, I mean, it is Crims, but that's a little bit too much to ask out of him.
He is a god-tier player, but yeah.
That teamwork, that display that Luminosity just put up in those halls was incredible. To break that stack up, the first player jumps. He doesn't even look to his left. He just looks over towards the bedroom, spots that player out, the second guy up, clears out the member in halls, and then they trade off Olaf in the bedroom. But either way, well done by Luminosity. They're going to go up now. It's going to be 12-11.
There's a life lesson to be had there, Moses. Trust in your teammates.
Trust in your teammates.
Trust in your teammates. Not if you're playing matchmaking, though. But trust in your teammates if you're playing, if you're
playing in a major.
Yeah, there you go. If you're playing in a major.
Speaking of playing in a major, you said god-tier player. Can he get a third one in this round? He's making this expensive. 2 kills somewhere. He's going to blow up eventually, but he tries to get that kill. Steel shuts him down, but 2 members added on to the end of the kill tally for Fnatic there. And now we're going to see the buy. Now every member of Fnatic can basically have whatever they want.
And that's exactly what I was waiting for. JW goes for the AWP. And now we get to see the Maestro at work. Nicely done here by Crims, though. We're getting a replay of the Deeg action. Those 2 kills, that was pretty slick to take out, follow him like that. But it is going to be the full buy, and wow. Full Molotovs, full smokes, and full AKs for Luminosity. No AWP picked up for Fallen, even if he had the money. And Fnatic, they're going for the challenge down Banana. This is it now, the toe-to-toe fight, and Luminosity decides to just completely opt out of it. They don't even take it.
Right, and they know JW is going to have an AWP as well, so they throw that smoke at top mid one more time. Full Banana control for Fnatic, and it's going to be interesting to see how Luminosity decides to handle this, because it looks like they want to wait back towards T-Ramp, wait for those smokes to finally subside, and take back control of Banana later on in the round. Maybe just try and explode through it with some nicely placed flashes.
An interesting choice to have Olafmeister down here with the M4A1. Not exactly the best weapon to have in a spray fight at all. And Olafmeister only gets the 1 kill. Flusha is still here on time, and he's going to get the flash. He's not full flashed himself, and he's going to just go charging through the smoke. Gets annihilated by Fair, and Crims is not close enough to have an impact. There's 2 players that have been headshot, though. Cold and Bolts are so very low on HP. Fnatic, I think it's all going to come down to whether they decide to actually commit in Banana. Pronax is hanging around there, and Bolts is sitting behind the sandbags with 5 HP. If they can get Banana and try and establish a bit of a crossfire here, Fnatic, it could get interesting.
They've got to get a kill quick, and Crims is the only one actually close to this B bomb site. He's got the kit. Cold is right, and they're actually not going to go for it, especially now that Pronax has fallen over towards Banana. JW gets 1 pick. They can deal some damage. Crims gets 1 on the exit as well, but they're not going to be winning this round. Crims almost falls there, but Luminosity has just taken back control against this defense. This Fnatic team we've seen so many times be dominant on CT Inferno. They look confused right now.
Oh, and Crims doesn't know which way it's coming from. And Crims lands the headshot. He had to stay alive, and he just manages it. Luminosity, though. I mean, Luminosity, I think for them, the most important thing, though, is just to get these rounds on the board. They have the money to buy, so they can continue to just go for the full buy. This time, Fallen has that off. But 13-11, they're actually extending this lead, Luminosity.
Look at this performance that Fallen's putting in. 23 kills, 17 deaths. He's coming up huge for his team, especially in the first half.
Fallen just seems to be a major player.
Yeah.
Like, he's just one of those players, when he's on land and when it all counts, I mean, he comes through for his team. It's very rare that he actually lets them down.
I liked that take they just had in that last round to bust up that aggression down Banana. Once they pop flash themselves through the smoke, they trade off Olafmeister, and they know in those situations it's usually just 1 player, so they keep the pressure up on B very quickly and just storm the bomb site. And now look at the utility Fnatic has left. 1 minute and 12 on the clock. 2 Molotovs and 1 smoke.
Man, that's not ideal.
Yeah, this is just the economic situation that Luminosity's put them in, and this is a beautiful half out of them, controlling every facet of the game so far.
I mean, Luminosity, they haven't committed anywhere. They've done everything they can to make Fnatic spend their gear, and they've done a fantastic job so far. Crims actually going so close. He's going to get right up to top Banana, and this is an old trick that Crims likes to do. Just jump on top of the car and see if he can spot somebody from over the top of that smoke. And as it clears, the second one will go down, it seems.
No pressure put on. This is Luminosity slowed down in the mid-round. Crims uses a flash, just tries to get information down Banana, and they're going to stay aggressive at this car. Olaf's going to be the one to push up. He's going to find one. Remember, that's Bolts, but Bolts is running away. Olaf gets a free kill. The bomb's also there as well. He spots it. He calls it down. He knows they're going to have to come back for it, holding the crack. He swings out wide, and Fair takes him out. That's a good fight. Equalizes things. No one's in the B bomb site. And look at Luminosity. They're just pushing in right now. Rotation is on its way, though, from Fnatic.
Yeah, they are going to be able to get 3 players over here fairly quickly. It's going to come down to Crims. Can he hit the headshots? Cold gets dropped down to 44 HP, and they kind of get bogged down. No smoke to block this off. And JW lands the first shot. Flusha, Roast falling alive. Flusha with the double kill with the Molotov. And this is it. Steal. He can't get it done. JW with the no scope in the end. That's what we're talking about, JW. gets it done in the end. And Luminosity, well, that's definitely going to ring them up a little bit. That's gonna make them a little uncertain. And yeah, you hear it. Although it's not Luminosity going for the pause. I thought that it would be Luminosity, but no, it's Fnatic calling for it.
The faces of JW and Flush after they win that round were just so stoic. They didn't even like look up. They're just like, all right, now this is that switch we flip.
They're from the north, man. They're just ice cold. All in a day's work with Fnatic. Defending champions as well. I mean, that's the one thing that we have to, kind of harp on. It's so special, the fact that they are back-to-back major championship winners. That's an incredible feat with just how competitive CSGO, the top tier of competitive CSGO is. Anybody seems to be able to win a tournament at this point, well, in the top 4, that is. But Fnatic to just the most difficult situation and to be able to come out ahead in it, that is incredible. That
round was just teetering on the edge. It was so close to just Luminosity just basically getting into that B-bomb state for free. The rotations were so perfect, though.
And that's when it's like the one mind sort of theory, where it's just like the hive mind. Fnatic, they don't need to call anything out. They just know what they need to do based on the positioning.
Well, that's exactly what happened. It's one member in CT spawn coming over towards B, and then you all of a sudden see 2 players in the A-bomb set on the mini-maps. You just see those dots. Just in the same instant, they just head in that direction. And you're like, all right, the race is on.
And so we do have a little bit of a pause, guys, but thanks for being patient with us. Has been a glorious long day of CS, and we have 3 more matches coming up as well, so we're a long way from over for the night.
I'm wondering I'm trying to figure out if Luminosity's going to buy here.
I'm curious as well. I mean, this is actually a tactical pause from Fnatic in the end, so they want to try and build on this.
Well, this is a situation now where this is why it's a pause, because if they get their economy reset here, they're done. They're forced into probably not a double save. I mean, actually, 2 of their members would have to double save, but Fnatic wouldn't do it because that would put Luminosity up towards, they'd have to buy anyways, but it'd be such a weak buy that they want this pause, talk things over, because this round is just so crucial. It's basically a win for Luminosity if Fnatic get reset here.
Whoa. And Luminosity are going for the buy themselves. This is the all or nothing play.
They have to, because if they don't buy here and they let Fnatic build up that bank, they lose that advantage. As if they reset the economy, they get up towards 15. So they have to buy here to try and do that. If not, it just alleviates the pressure off Fnatic, and you can't have that. You give Fnatic an inch, they're gonna take a mile.
They are. That's true. What an excellent first winner match here for the groups.
And this is, Fallen, he's been talking all week. He wants revenge. He got his first day of revenge.
Fallen, I think nothing would please him more already than to make it through the groups. Again, becoming a legend team, but with first seed. That would be ideal for the South American team. But there we go. Flash and Flush. He's going to shred him with the P90. 2 kills, drops the bomb carrier as well. This is a catastrophe for Luminosity. In the blink of an eye, they've lost 3 players in probably the most important round of the map, and the rest of them get just smashed. I don't even know whether I'm supposed to say slammed or smashed, Moses. You got to help me out here, man.
It was both. A beautiful play from Flusha. With that P90, that flashbang is timed so perfectly. It's just, those are the things where coming out of the pause, Fnatic just always seem to know whatever they say, whatever their coach Vugo chimes in on, they always seem to just know exactly what play is coming or what they need to do. And just perfectly counters everyone. They barely take any damage whatsoever. So now they're all geared up, 13-13. It's going to be a save from Luminosity. It might even have to be a double save if they can't get a plant in this round, which is scary because they only have 1 smoke to work with. That's on Steel. And still very spread out. Pronax, he's going to have some pressure put on him. He sees the shots. What a play by Fur. Gets aggressive drops. He pushes all the way out as well. He's got an M4. He's got to be careful, though. Looking over towards lane to try and help his teammates out. That's allowed 2 Fnatic players to get into the bomb site.
Oh, what a fantastic spray down there, and sets it up for Steel. This could be at the moment here for Luminosity. They've got control, though JW has hold up at the back of the site. He dodges the nade damage as well, and he's just waiting for the cavalry to roll in. But Fur, cold, everybody finding frags on Luminosity's side, and Cribs will be the last man. An equally fast round as well between the 2. Last round, it was Luminosity getting shredded. Here, Fnatic just get completely overrun.
Oh, how does this happen? What a kill by Ferd. He gets so aggressive, comes out of those halls into the pit. Deals so much damage. 2 kills for him, and Crims can't even go for this. He can't do anything. In a 1-on-5, Luminosity,
Fnatic just like wiping the sweat off their brow, thinking, oh man, thank you that last round was so decisive. We actually have some money to fall back on. Because otherwise, it would be looking very grim.
Yeah, that's a very good point. All 5 members living that round, so not many purchases after all that happened. And even with this 1 gun being saved by Crims, he doesn't have to buy. He's so low. Pronax is going to have to drop over towards Flusha, so 1 more good buy out of Fnatic, but They can't lose this one now. That's heartbreaking to lose that round. Those are the rounds that Fnatic usually win to their opponents, and it just got flipped on them. Taste of their own medicine.
That can't be too pleasant. So we get to see a little bit of what they actually have to work with here. Bit of a late buy as well, a little bit of a delay. JW gets an op out of this somehow, and they actually have a pretty healthy nade count, all things considered. 3 kits as well. So Fnatic, they have the gear, but it's a full buy out of Luminosity. Everything they need here to get the job done, Luminosity. And again, just super slow pace. They clear out second mids, they're going to start working towards apartments.